Good morning, okay, and 8:34. Happy Friday to you. Rolling into the weekend. You might have some projects you're doing around. Mames, have you ever put shovel to ground? Have you ever, stuck a
Well,
shovel
we
in
just
the
had
ground?
a tree removed from our front yard, so we had to call somebody to make sure we didn't run into gas or water or sewer. So yeah, it's a good tool to have.
A very important part of the process. The team that you call, or the team that you submit an inquiry to find out, are there power lines, are there gas lines, are there utility lines? Is it okay to dig? Am I okay to dig? NC811. NC811.org is the website. And we're coming up on 811 Day. Louis Panzer, the executive director of 811, joins us this morning. How are you, sir?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us this morning. Probably one of the types of things when people think about development or they think about projects. You guys should be the first, but most of the time, are you kind of the last thought in people's minds as you talk to them or think and communicate with them? What's it like?
It depends. So homeowners may be the ones that don't have as much information at the tip of their fingers, but professional excavators that are installing fiber, doing construction, that they're definitely aware of the state mandate and the process to contact 811 and get your facilities marked prior to excavation. The homeowners and stuff, that's a group that we definitely want to make sure they understand the process because they may not be familiar with it. This may be the first time they decided to do a do-it-yourself. You know, like you heard about moving the stump. I mean, taking a stump out of your front yard. Yeah, absolutely. There could be electric in conflict, could be gas, could be any numbers of things.
811 Day is just around the
Hmm.
corner. Is that where we're all going to dig in the ground at the same time? Is that what we're doing to celebrate, or what's going on for 811 Day?
Yeah, so everybody's celebrating different. So 811 is a national number. It's a three-digit number. Every state has the ability. Those numbers take you to their one-call centers. In North Carolina, we'll be celebrating at our center. We're doing a ceremonial signing. We have a new law that takes effect October 1, and we're going to have some representatives from the legislature there, as well as the labor commissioner and some of the board and directors of NCA 11 to essentially do a ceremonial signing. It's already been signed by the governor, but we're going to have a special 811 cake. Everybody gets a bite of it. Yeah, every state does different sort of events to sort of celebrate August 11th.
Now you mentioned the new House Bill 247. Now dirt hasn't changed, I think, in a couple thousand years. What's going on? Is there any changes you can let us know about? Does this affect people at all? What does this House Bill do? Let's say for the normal mom and pop, or even for the contractor or excavator.
Yeah, there's several different pieces of this that are going to change, but the most important thing for people to recognize is today when you contact us, you have 3 full working days before you start your job, which is what we ask for, so that the utilities can mark. And one of the things, and then that ticket is good for 15 working days after it becomes valid. As of October 1, that ticket life will extend to 28 calendar days, and those days will start from the work start, not the ticket issuance. We still ask for the 3 days prior to allow for those utilities to mark. But now the extent of that ticket's life will be from the work start, not the ticket issuance. This puts the paint closer to the actual project start, so less likelihood of it being defaced or rained out or something and having to be replaced with a destroyed marks ticket. So that's a major change that people are going to adapt to.
There's a lot of talk right now in the world. Obviously, North Carolina too. We've talked about the state auditor a lot this week. A lot of changes of efficiency and things like that. What's it like at 811 though? Just curious because that's what a sleeper organization, if you would,
Hmm.
that you guys are, but so important. What's it like at 811 right now of having to coordinate and with all the different groups that are involved in the process? What's that been like?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I mean, North Carolina takes 2.8 million requests a year for excavation. So let that sink in for a second and then multiply that times five because roughly we notify about 5 utilities on each notice. And so you start to get a sense of the scope of the amount of work that takes place in North Carolina. I think we're second only to Texas in terms of volume, sheer volume. And so, it's intense for sure. the relationships between the professional contractors and the utilities, and we're kind of in the hub of the wheel there. We're really more or less just a notification center. We take requests, we send them out, we educate, and but we help to facilitate a lot of conversation around best practices and ways to protect what's there and to protect the people who are doing the digging.
I'm always curious because I'm a big visual learner, Lewis. I'm big visual, so I love when I see the different colored lines on the
Mhm.
ground and all those. Do you know off the top of your head, not to put pressure on you, what each color means? Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. So the first color to know is that if you're going to dig, we ask that you white line, use white paint or flags to designate exactly where you're going to dig. That helps the locators see where you're going to do it. If you say, I'm doing this in the front yard, I'm putting a mailbox in, super helpful to have that white paint. But after you've done that and the utilities come out, each color does represent something specific. So the red paint represents electric, the yellow represents gas, the orange represents telecom, which you may have fiber or coax. You may have any number of different types of telecommunications facilities in those easements. Green is sewer, blue is water, and those are the prime colors, the rainbow that you can look for. And when you do make your request, we are going to tell you who we've notified, so that you can look at your request and then match up that information with what you see on the ground to make sure that you're not in conflict with what is already there.
Now, and let's say I'm not a professional contractor, Lewis. Let's say I am that first time DIYer, but I saw that
Mhm.
811 day is coming up. I saw this clip from Good Morning LKN. I know I need to submit a ticket. Is that
Yep,
okay for me just as a regular Joe Schmo to submit a ticket? Is that all right?
absolutely. We take quite a bit of homeowner requests, and you can do that either through contacting us via the phone at 811, or you can go to our website at nc811.org, and you can actually submit electronic tickets. We have an app as well for your phone. Most everybody has one of these devices, right? You can download an app and you can do a single address ticket just for your property. It's smooth, it's easy. You'll be notified electronically at the end of that 3 full days, let you know what those positive response notices were. Or if you really want to talk to somebody, you can give us a call. About 80% roughly of our tickets are coming in electronically at this
Mm.
point. So we do want to encourage people to try to do that. It's just easier. Yeah, any Joe Schmo, Jane Schmo, and basically it's the law. So if you're going to do this excavation, you do need to contact us 3 full days prior.
Now, and I got some neighbors, Lewis. I got some neighbors that like to do some things too. Or there's the big development down the street and all that kind of stuff. So as far as like tickets near me, is that an
Mhm.
option? Is there a way to be able to investigate, kind of get a little action going on
Yeah,
what my neighbors are up
yeah,
to?
you can get a little Gladys Kravitz on them, and that's an old school reference for some of the young people, but you can totally get that because we have a near ticket function on the app that will show you within 1,500 feet all of the live tickets that are in the proximity of where you are. So if you really got time on your hands and you see activity going on and you're just curious what's going on, you can just subtly cruise up there with your phone and use the near ticket app, and you'll know what's happening.
Lewis Panzer of 811. He's the executive director. 811 Day coming up, a time to celebrate some of the legislative changes. House Bill 247 taking effect as of October 1st. So some of those deadlines extending, or as far as use cases extending timelines within the process. Lewis, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with us and sharing what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. We look forward to seeing you in April, Safe Digging Month. So
All
we'll come
right.
back and see you then.
Oh, next
Sounds
time we'll get
great.
you up on the excavator next time, and we'll do some practice runs together or something like
Sounds great. Sounds
that. See
great.
you, Lewis. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks, guys.